Good greetings, I'm Rusty Dog, Captain Rusty Dog today, and welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator again. Wow, OBS Studio has changed. Yeah, so with the last two streams now, yesterday's one with the Junkers and this one, OBS has this ability now to control your YouTube channel, and so the way I stream is now started is completely different to what it used to be. Yeah, so I had a little bit of a issue getting the stream started, but we're here. And it's all good. OBS is good. Everything is running. So, okay. I've been wanting to do this this video for a few days now, at least a week, because the fly-by-wire A320Nero, or the A32NX, as it's called, has come on, no pun intended, leaps and bounds. I say no pun because the engines are leap. So yeah, no, it's come on leaps and bounds. And I wanted to try and show you the entire experience of the flight plan, the flight preparation, the starting up of the aircraft, the pushback with all the dialogue and all the stuff that goes with it now. It's a little bit different from what we used to see before, and it's all very immersive, it's all very cool, and I love it. Now, the last two short flights I've done with this plane, I've been using Simbrief. I got myself signed up to Navigraph, who have now taken over Simbrief, and I started using that to plan the flights. Because with the A320 and with the A32NX plane, there is an amazing facility on there where you can import your Simbrief flight plan into the plane's computer, straight into the MCDU, which is awesome. Now, all my job is today is to remember how to do it and how to use the MCDU to board the passengers and count the passengers. So we're going to set up the flight with Simbrief. We're going to set up the flight plan, and then we're going to go into the plane, turn the plane on, and hopefully I'm going to remember the order to do everything, when to bring the jetway across to the plane, all that stuff, and then load the passengers up and get the engine started, get the pushback, take off from the correct runway, and hopefully land smoothly at the other side. So it's a short hop flight. I believe it's going to be just a tad under half an hour. So by the time I get up in the air, it'll be time to come down again, basically. I actually thought the flight was going to be longer than half an hour, but looking at the flight plan, I've already looked at it this time. Turns out, yeah, it's not going to be that at all. It's going to be quite short. So it's not. Yeah, it's. I expected it to be around maybe nearly an hour, but this Airbus is quicker than I thought. So anyway, without further ado, let's get on with it. But before I do, let's address the good people in the chat today. So we have Thomas Hughes TV. Hi, Thomas Hughes. Let's see, Roger. Hi, Roger, matey. How are you, sir? Hope you're doing good, man, as always. And Angry Citizen. Trays in the upright position. Turn off all electronic devices, except YouTube live stream. Don't turn that off. All right, guys, if this all goes well, it's going to look great. I am loving this plane. It's at such a level now. The 320. Don't say 320. It is an Airbus 320. The A32NX is in such a place now. It's actually really good. And yes, I know that Fenix are coming out with their own A320Neo, which is going to be a very, very high standard, with all the systems on the plane featured. So when that comes out, it could be that the fly-by-wire one will have a little bit of catching up to do. But even if the fly-by-wire, in terms of ultimate realism, does lag a little bit behind the Fenix one, even if it does, remember this one thing, the fly-by-wire plane is free. It's free. And that's going to be, is it weird to say that it's free is going to be its big selling point? Can you say that? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's giveaway point. This is a free add-on. And for what it is, it's fantastic. So if you really want to learn how to fly these planes now, this is where you need to be. Okay, so Happy Shrapnel and Mark G. Hey guys, nice of you to join us today. So before we can take off, before we can do anything, we need to file a flight plan. Now, when you file the flight plan with Simbrief, you can download that flight plan into a format that is acceptable to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and then you can load that in here with the load safe option. So you can do that. But we're not going to do that, because what that's going to do is it's going to put the actual flight on the... We've got some wicked cloud here. It's been raining here today, so we're going to be having some crap weather. And it looks like it's getting dark as well. I don't want it too dark. I don't mind a bit of a sunsetty flight, but I don't want it too dark, so I may adjust it. Yeah, if I import the Simbrief flight into here, then it's going to be displayed here with all of its doings, and that's going to get programmed into the plane automatically when we dive into the sim. I don't want that. I want to show you guys how to import the flight directly from Simbrief that you've made into the plane's computer. So we're not going to do anything here. The only thing I need to do is select the departure airport, and here we have Sebastian, the hot sauce dude, member for 13 months has it been? Wow. Man, hey, thanks for your support, Sebastian. You know I appreciate it as always. Yeah, fantastic. I didn't know those kind of things came up like that with a big green thing. That's cool. Yeah, and very much deserved. Flying the Ju-52 in Germany now. It is a beautiful plane. Did it yesterday. Do you know what? Yeah, I couldn't start the engines, and I did some research, and it turned out there was one switch. I knew it would be something simple. There was just one switch that was out of position, and that was the primer. I had it flicked the wrong way around. That was it. But now I've looked up the German word. There's auf and aus, and I know that one is off, one is on, and now I know which is which. So, yeah, I got it the wrong around. The switches are supposed to be facing each other and not both facing the same way. But I did try it yesterday again with the switch in the opposite position this time, and all three engines fired up individually, and we were good to go. So I just failed on the stream. And I said in the stream that it was easier to fire up the A320NX plane, this Airbus, and it is for me. But the Junkers plane is brilliant for its price. It's a bargain. It's a bargain. Yeah. When you see the other planes out there with their prices, you know, people have ported over planes and really done some lazy work on them, and they're more expensive, you know, and the flight models are really not that good. You can tell that they're just planes that have been ported over from somewhere else, you know, and then they come out with this Junkers with 4 different variants, and, you know, every switch works, and it's like £12.50 or $15. You know, it's just a steal. All right, guys, so today's flight is going to take us from Manchester Airport to Edinburgh, which I think is up here. So this is a 27-minute flight, including all of the waypoints. And if we cannot make a landing at Edinburgh, which I've never had the... I don't know if Flight Sim does this, but let me just get this sentence out of the way. If we can't land at Edinburgh, our alternative landing airport is not Glasgow. For some reason, it's Newcastle upon Tyne. I don't know why. That's a perfect example, Seb, the Boeing Max. Yeah, I mean, wait for PDMGs to come out, or PMDGs. Wait for theirs to come out. It's going to be a bit pricey, maybe, but it's going to be worth it because the Boeing that they're going to bring out is going to be absolutely on point, as they say. But yeah, the Boeing is not worth it. I've heard a lot of complaints on that one. I'd love to fly a Boeing 737, but I'm not going to pay for lazy rubbish, really. It looks great on the outside, but the rest is just... doesn't it have the... is that the one that has the 747 interior, or 747 that they just ported it across? I can't remember. It's just lame, really. So yes, if you haven't bought the Boeing that's on sale in the marketplace, just don't. Wait for PMDGs. You pay for quality. Simple as that. Right, so the departure airport is Manchester, which I happen to know from the top of my head is I hope I know. EGCC? Yeah, indeed. Okay, so that's all we need to know because we need the sim needs to know where to put the plane. So let's zoom in and see if we can pick a parking spot. It looks like it's getting quite dark over the UK right now. Okay, so let's zoom in and we'll do... I like this spot. You see where you can see the plane? I like this one, ramp 8. So we'll set that one as our departure. We will be taking off on runway 23 left. At least that's what the computer is going to program in. So we should be zooming down here. I have taken off from this runway before. Oh yes, I can proudly say it. So I kind of should know the taxi route. You have to go across. Oh no, wait a minute though. Is it this runway? Yeah, what was the route I did last time? Yeah, I think it's across. Oh, I might be mistaken here, guys, but I think it's down here and across, and then in there, across the runway, and then round onto that way. We'll see. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll... The graphics suck.
Sebastian, the hot sauce dude for your...
Oh, cheers, matey. That's so kind.
Graphics suck, Rusty.
That long-running joke. Yeah. Hey, Flexible Knot, how are you doing, sir? Thank you, Seb. Yeah. I'm just reading your last post, actually. The Dreamliner is a smooth... The Dreamliner is... yeah, it is. It's beautiful taking off in the Dreamliner. It is very smooth and graceful, isn't it? It's a big plane, though. Yeah. Okay, so while we are loading up and going to be sitting on the runway cold and dark, let's get the flight plan sorted out. So this is Simbrief. So I'm going to try create a flight plan. I'm going to have to do it this way. So basically, if you go into Simbrief and you have to create an account with Navigraph, which is free, there is a paid alternative, subscription and everything, where you get access to charts. If I was to read a chart, I wouldn't know what the hell I was looking at. So right now, until I'm in a situation where I want to sit down and go, right, let's learn how to read a chart, I don't have any need for anything other than the free version. So I'm just going to leave it like this. The other thing with the free version is you don't get the up-to-date AIRAC cycle, whatever that is. I know it's something to do with the software, right? But if you want to choose the 2019 version, you're going to have to pay the subscription, which I think is $6, $7, $8 a month or something, £5 a month, I think it is. And then you get this. You choose this one. But as you can see, you need a Navigraph subscription, which also would give you access to charts. And then, but yeah. So right now I can't really justify that, so I'm sticking with what we have here. We're going to be fine with it, so we're good to go. All right, so what you do is once you've got your account, you click on, you're at home on the home page, you go to dispatch and you would choose my flight plan. and then we will click on a new flight and say yes to the dialog that says this will overwrite any previous, and we start. So we're going to be flying British Airways today, so the airline is BA. The flight number is going to be, let's call it 177. The departure airport is Manchester, which is EGCC, and the arrival airport, is it EGPH? Yeah, EGPH. God help me if I'm wrong, but I think that is Edinburgh, EGPH, because the alternate there is Newcastle. I hope I've got it the right way around. Yeah, it is, isn't it? EGPH. I'm gonna do a quick check, guys, because Edinburgh Airport ICAO is EGPH. Okay, we're good. Yes, Concorde's definitely, Seb, definitely. It's on my wanted list. Right now, I've got 3 planes I really want to get. The Phoenix A320 as well, just to compare it with, with the other one. I'd like to have 2 options. My flight sim seems to have got stuck loading. I don't know what's going on there, guys. Seem to be a little bit stuck, but I think it seems to still be going somehow, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it's just very slow. Yes, so I think for me, the top 3 planes in my Christmas stocking has to be the Phoenix A320, the PMDG Boeing 737, and the Concorde. Concorde's going to be an absolute nightmare to learn how to fly that thing. So they better have a, like they do on the Douglas DC-6, where you have a virtual co-pilot. I hope we get one of those on Concorde, because that thing's a nightmare. But okay. Right, so back to the flight plan then. We've got our departure airport. We have our arrival airport. It's already given us an alternative airport, and we'll be departing at 1710 Zulu, which I believe is GMT, right? Now it's 1820 here, so 1710. Yeah, that we're not going to make that flight. We're going to be late already. So if we're going to spend more time setting up the plane than the flight, so bear that one in mind. So I'm going to be going to 18. This isn't going to make any. Ooh, yeah, bugger. This isn't going to really make any difference. So we can just put in a time there anyway, just to make the flight plan look good. Airframe, well, we're going to be using an Airbus A320, so we're going to select that. And that has given us a climb profile, a cruise profile, which is set to auto. Now you can set your own cruising altitude if you want. I'm quite happy to leave it on auto for now. And then you have a descent profile. I don't know what all the numbers mean. 250, 300, and then 78 for climb. Then it looks like it's backwards for descent, which would make sense. I just don't know what the 78 is. 7,800 when you ascend. I don't know, no idea. Same with the fuel factor. I have no idea what this does. I'm just leaving everything. I don't think you really need to do much more on this now. I think we've got everything in there that we need. Registration on the plane is RST. Yeah, it knows RSTY66. PIN number, I don't know if we have one, so I'm just leaving it as it is. And I'm still getting worried that Flight Sim's not loading up. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Flight Sim. Hopefully it will load. Otherwise we're going to have to relaunch it. Anyway, we'll still have the flight plan regardless. So departure runways, 23 left. Arrival runway in Edinburgh will be runway 24. And these are the taxi things. I don't know much about this. Captain is Rusty Dog, so you're in good hands today. Now, one thing I want to test, the passengers are set to auto. So this is how many passengers are going to be on board, so it'll pick a number and that'll be it. Usually on the Airbus, I'm getting around 140, is it, or 170 passengers. I'm going to restrict this now to 102 passengers, 102. And I want to see if that's how many get on board when we tell the passengers, now you can board. Cargo, I guess this is in tons. I'm going to leave that for now and just pretend nobody's got any bags. And that's it. That's it. It's all done. So now that we've got all the relevant details filled in, oh, we've got an ATC call sign, which obviously makes sense. It's a BA flight. It's 177 flight number, so the call sign would be BA 177. That makes sense. I'm going to leave that. You can edit that, but I'm going to leave it. And we're going to hit generate flight. Please confirm you want to generate the flight plan. It will overwrite any previously generated flight plan, so we're going to say yes to that. Still haven't loaded in the plane. I think Flight Sim's has gone a little bit haywire. Okay, so here is our flight plan, and as you can see quite clearly here, we're taking off from Manchester, and we're going to be zipping around this way, and then straight up the Pennines, and then flying into Edinburgh. And if we cannot land at Edinburgh for whatever reason, then we'll have to detour all the way back to Newcastle, which is... I'm not sure why they wouldn't just detour it to Glasgow. There must be a reason for it, but, you know, especially if you're low on fuel, Glasgow's an easier option. So yeah, so this is your flight plan, and down here is a load of letters and numbers, which makes sense to more people than... makes more sense to people than it does to me. I can understand some of it, but not all of it. Yeah, so here's all the waypoints, I think. Yeah, but we won't bother with that. So we can leave this right now as it is. We don't need to do anything more with the flight plan. Okay, so let's whiz back to here, and we'll see. Oh, okay. Was it just hanging around because it didn't have focus? Oh, those clouds, man. Doesn't look good. Now, what's the big green thing? Ah, okay. Check this plane out, guys. This is an 8K livery. I'd have been happy with a 4K livery. But there isn't a 4... Well, I couldn't find a 4K resolution British Airways. Just the 8K one. And... yeah, this is... It is very, very detailed, as you can probably see, and it's lovely. Okay, and it's raining. Yeah. So first thing I want to do is prevent the AI from taking over radio comms, because then they're the ones that call the bloody tow truck, the tug for the pushback, and I don't want it. I don't want that, so let's just leave all of that, and you can go away. No, I said you can go away. Go away. Right, I'm going to take the time back just maybe an hour or so, guys, because I really want some more light on this situation, because I'm just for demonstration purposes. So we're going to go back to around 3:30. Okay, and what do we have now? What a miserable day. This is how it's been today. Yeah, this is literally how it's been today, only with rain. So, if I turn my light on, it's not really powerful, is it? Wow. I wish my little headlight had a high beam. Alright, so we're going to be importing the flight plan into the MCDU here, and hopefully boarding the passengers using this as well, if I can remember everything. Alright, so let's get the plane started. It is raining. I can just see a few drops on the windscreen there. Whoops, pressed the wrong button. I'm going to be doing a lot of that, so don't write them all down. Okay, first thing I want to do, even though it says external power available, let's go outside the plane and we'll get all this done correctly. And it looks like we don't have a jetway here, so I'm hoping I can bring the stairs over. So using this pushback tool, which is bloody awesome, we have some aircraft options. So I want to bring power, and I want to bring baggage over, And also fuel we're okay for, I don't need that. We don't have any jetways, so let's see if it'll bring the stairs over. Yeah, it will, okay. But the passengers are not going to be boarding yet. So we're just going to get the bags on board, we're going to get the external power hooked up, and we're going to get the stairs next to the plane so the passengers can pop in. Doors are automatically open. There's no point opening the aft door because, I don't know, some stewardess will probably not look where she's going and just fall out. So we won't bother doing that. So we'll get the bags loaded up. Here comes the guy with the luggage, or girl with the luggage, I think. And we'll get back to the pushback people a little bit later. So the new pushback is brilliant. Wait till you see it. I love it. It's so cool. Okay, so while they're doing all of that, we're going to get the plane started. So batteries are on, external power on. Now I always wonder when to start the APU up, but I'm going to do it the order that we normally do it, which is this panel first, this panel from the bottom up second, and then this panel from the bottom up first. So first thing is to supply the crew with some oxygen. What's that, Sam? Just a final word on the planes coming. I think if they did what they did for MS 2004, I think you mean, A Century of Flight, yeah? Brought in all of those amazing old birds, it would be awesome. Yeah, wouldn't it just? But they've got to be, if they're going to do it, something like that, they've got to be done right, I think. I remember the Orville Wright plane. That would be so good. Yeah, the original plane flew, it was made of balsa wood and paper, and it flew 12 feet, I think. From 12 feet to the space shuttle in 100 years. In less than 100 years. That's crazy. Aquatic Borealis. Hey Aquatic, welcome on board. Please take a seat in the all members and patrons go fly business class, by the way, just so you know. If you haven't subscribed, then you're in economy. Right, okay, so we've got crew supply done. Now let's get the ADIRs done. That's going to take about 7 minutes to align all of those up. Actually, I'm not supposed to do it this way, so let me just do this the right way, guys, because I may have fluffed this, but I think we're okay. Okay. So this is basically alignment on the thing. What I want to do before we get going on this is maybe just not do it in real time, because otherwise we're going to be sat waiting for this to align somewhere between 7 and 9 minutes, I think it's going to be. So rather than do that, what we'll do is we'll flick on the old pad. This is also a integral part of the whole thing. See, there's no flight plan there. It knows where we are, but there's no flight plan in yet. So we can link the flight plan in from the MCDU, or we can just, if I hit here from Simbrief, it'll just load it in from the plan we've generated already. So I can do that right now and it will load the flight plan. However, it won't load the flight plan into the plane's computer, it'll just load it here onto the pad. But I want to link it onto the MCDU first and then press this. So we'll do it that way. So yeah, we haven't got the flight plan there. Fuel, let me just double check that we're okay. I think we're fine. Yeah, it's a half-an-hour flight. Geez, we're gonna be fine. Now the option I want, which I think is down here. Come to sim options, I think. Yeah, ADIRS align time. We can go instant. Oh, it's already remembered my last one. Instant, fast or real. Real takes 9 minutes. Fast just, I think what fast does is it goes down to 3 or 4 minutes and then counts down from there. So instead of waiting 9, you're waiting 3 minutes. So that's what that does. So we've got that set. The detents have already been calibrated. I'm not going to bother with that. So we're all good to go. So let's go back up to the top panel. Now, we turn on the first, I'm going to call it ADIR. We're going to turn on the first one, and we should have a battery light flash up, and it hasn't. It should light up there about the battery, and then when that light goes out, then you do the next one. There we go, on battery. I believe it's supposed to go out. There we go. And then we do number 2. Wait for that to come on battery. See, I'm picking things, little things up all the time. Come on. Battery. And out she goes. And we do the last one. 27.1 there, 27.7 there. Okay, that one's going to say on battery and go out, so we can not bother with that anymore. We don't need to bother with that one. Right, so down here then, we're now at the bottom. Hold on, I'm going to put some heating into the cabin. Again, this is all aesthetics. It's not to make a damn bit of difference, but just so you know. So we're going to be arming the emergency exits and put the wing light on, put the strobe light to auto. Taxi lights, we're not ready for that. Landing lights, I'm going to forget to put some of these lights on, you can be sure of it. No smoking, onto auto. Seatbelts, signs, no point yet because we are not crewless, passengerless. So we're going to turn on APU master switch. Now this is the thing, do I turn the APU starter on now, or do I wait for it to say available and then turn it on? In the meantime, while we're waiting for that, I want to just adjust all the brightnesses of the displays. So let's get these turned up because it's going to be a dark day and we're going to need a bit of brightness. If you want to do this display, it's these two buttons here, and then of course you have these. I can never remember, ECAM, right? Yeah, ECAMs. So we've got the ECAMs, and then the brightness for this one is this button here, dim and bright. So that's already set nicely. And then we have interior kind of lights, so like floodlights under the instruments, which are these. We can have those on, and then we've got integrated panel lights, which flick those as well, make it look all nice. Also, the panels here, we can panel lighting on this as well. So everything's nicely lit up. And if you want to do the co-pilot side, you can do the co-pilot side. All good. I don't really need to switch on any dome lights, but there's also lights under here. Can't remember what the switch is for that one. This one? Yeah. So you've got the floor lights there for your feet. We'll just leave that on dim at the moment. Alright. Back up to our main panel. I'm going to flick this on. And then I think once that says avail, then we can go APU bleed. So, I believe I'm right. If I'm wrong, then hey. Yes, everybody everybody put their life insurance in my name. But hey, no, because if we all perish, we're all going to perish anyway. Andy K. Hey, Andy matey, how you doing, sir? Welcome, welcome, welcome to you, sir. Right, okay, here we go. So let's fire up. We've got everything going here. Let's get the fuel pumps turned on. Basically, anything that's lit up in white like this that says off have all got to be extinguished. Okay, so we do that. And if you want, you can do the tests, fire test on the engines. That's that one. This one. That means it's all good. Then you can test the APU. No. Okay. Right. Something not quite right here, guys. Something's not right. When I selected external power, I'm not hearing. Oh, maybe because I've got my volumes turned down too much. Yeah, I wasn't hearing the fans, but yeah, now I've turned my volume up, now I can hear it. Okay, so we're good to go. So we're going to hit APU bleed. No, we're not. We're going to leave that. No, I'm not there yet. See, it's all about doing it in the right order. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the flight plan programmed into here and then get the passengers boarded all from this screen. Wish me luck. So ATSU then, and then we're going to go to the AOC menu, and we're going to go the init screen here, init press, go there, and init data required. We'll import the flight plan from Simbrief. Just give it a couple of moments to plug them in. There it is. Now, just because we've done that doesn't mean that the flight plan is on the computer, because it isn't. If I go to flight plan, there's nothing there. I'm gonna fall down here, aren't I? Because it's remembering now how to confirm that flight plan onto the plane, and I don't know if I remember how to do that. Right, so there it is. I think that's just going to load it. Okay, so AOC menu. This is for the weather request, which you type in the airport that you want the weather request from. So let me see if I can do this part. EGCC, which is our departure airport, and then we want EGPH, which is our destination airport. Plug them in there, and I think we can send that request. And we should get up here company message, if I've done this right. They're going to send me the weather details back. Oh, wow, there you go, company message. Okay, so the company message is somewhere in here, but I don't know where. Oh God. Bear with me, guys. I don't know. Data. Somewhere you can get the weather message, and then you can print it out here on the printer there. Oh, how did the guy do it? No, we're not coming not at that screen yet. Ah. Okay, so basically, yeah, you've got the company message on there, and then you can retrieve the message from here. You would think it would be. I would have thought it would be in the same screen. Comms menu. No, I can't remember, guys. But the upshot is that you can retrieve the message, and then there is a print function down there, and then you print out the weather information for both airports, and then you rip the paper off, and it stores itself there. So yeah, there's going to be a few gaps in my knowledge here because I don't remember everything. Sometimes I try and take in too much at the same time. So on the init page anyway, we're going to click this. Oops, fill that in first. There we go. So these are all of our details, and there is our flight plan. Okay, awesome. That's the flight plan loaded in from Simbrief. Now, cost index, it's already put that in on its own. Okay, I think that might be the first time it's done that. Right, let's just clear the messages at the bottom. Okay. So then, performance. I think if we click these, it will put in the speeds. Oh no, why not? Normally it would fill these in automatically. The V1 speed, your rotate speed, and your V2 speed. Shoot, why hasn't it done that on its own? Normally just clicking it fills it in. Go back to init again. I just want to go to the other page. Let's type in this. This is our fuel now. One, click it again. So this puts our fuel in. That's not allowed. Fuel planning. Okay. Don't be fooled into thinking I know what I'm doing, because I actually don't. Wind and temperature. Yeah. I already requested the weather. Yeah, I don't know where it was, where that message comes in on the screen, where you can read your messages. Would it be ATC comms? Ah. Reports. The one I requested. No? Okay. Go back. Did it go back? Let's try again. ATC comms. Request. Weather. No. No, no, no. Next time, guys, I'll do this. Next time I do this, I'll have it all figured out. But I don't think it's ATIS I want. That's our arrival airport. This. Oh God! Don't tell me I've sent another message off now. Let's get rid of the baggage guy. He must be done by now. And we can get rid of the power guy. Yeah, there's a lot of fiddling and programming to do here, but ACARS print function. No, no, no. Yeah, I don't know if anyone knows how to get your company messages. Maybe we'll find it as we go through here. Do these fill in yet? No, what's this format error? Okay, never had those before. Wow, we're going to be flying at flight level 390. We're going to be high up. I don't know what the format error is for. No idea. I think we're good here then. I don't think there's much more I can do on this, so we'll just load up the flight plan. Oh, right. Getting people on board. Yeah, good one. I'm going to try here. No, it's not that one. That one. Now, the other day I had this figured out. Here, weights and balances. Okay. OFP request send. No. Go this one. Here we go. Boarding start. So we're hopefully going to have 102 passengers. Go. Get the people on. Oh, here we go. Oh, request send. Sorry. There we go. 102. Yay! And we should, when the passengers start getting on board, which is now. So now the passengers are boarding on the plane. You'll see the weight, the gross weight of the plane going up. Everybody's 100 kilos. Yeah, that company message though, that's really annoying me. To print off the company message. So what's going to happen is the people are getting on board. Once it hits 102, then the boarding will actually stop itself and go back to the start position, and then we can take away the stairs, and then we'll begin firing up the engines on the pushback. Oh my God. Yes, things are different to my last A320 flight, that's for sure. And as you can see by our dial here, when I turn the dial here, you can see here on the display that our flight plan is filed. You just zoom out. There it is. And I think that has to curl round, I believe. Oh no, it's okay. I see. It's tilted on different axis. So while the passengers are getting on board, I want to go over to here, and now we can load the flight plan into here from the MCDU. You're not going to do it? You're going to do it. If it doesn't, that's fine. I'll just link it straight from Simbrief. I think this actually might take the flight plan from here back into back onto the MCDU. I don't know. As long as we still have the flight plan, not really bothered. Okay, everybody's on board. We're good to go. Flight plan is ready. Be patient, Thomas. Be patient. This is what pilots have to go through. So I'm going to set the initial climb for 7-8, or let's call it 8,000 feet. Now I am having some problems with the autopilot. It's probably the system is now more complex and more realistic. But once you take off and everything, sometimes the autopilot doesn't come on immediately. And I don't know why. Now, also I think in the MCDU somewhere, I don't know where it is, so I won't bother looking. It does tell you the correct number to put in here, the QNH number to put in. Let's get this up to 250. I think should be fine. And now that we have the passengers on board, let's get the seatbelt sign on. We will be taking off very soon. As you can see here, we got, well, we don't need to do it yet until the engines are on, but we will have a bit of a checklist, if you like, appearing on here. Now the exact QNH is probably somewhere buried in here, but I don't know exactly where it is, and I still don't know why V1 and VR and V2 are not working. I'm not understanding why that's not popping up. That normally tells us our speeds, but it's not coming on, and I don't know why. Interesting. Alright, I think we're good to go. So what we'll do is we'll get the stairs taken away and we'll get pushed back and pray that everything's good. The idea is to have the plane reverse, and we've got one behind us. That's going to be a problem. Okay, he's moving off. I don't know which way we're going to need to turn afterwards, though. I don't know which way runway 20... Oh, okay. It's probably going to be that way. Yes. At least I know. Right, so everything is good. I won't bother doing the speed brakes and this yet. I think I want to get the engines fired up first and then just go through that checklist. Predicted wind shear, I'm going to put that on so it doesn't whinge later. Right, so let's bleed. Okay. I'm hoping I've done all this right. Haven't missed anything out.
Speedbird 1402, request taxi to the gate. Speedbird 1402, taxi to gate 29 are using taxiway Victor Delta Victor Uniform Bravo Zulu cross runway 05 left.
Okay, there's nobody in our way. We can start. So let's start the pushback. Watch this, guys.
Stand by.
Watch this. See if I can get a good view for you guys.
Taxiway Victor Delta Victor.
It's going to lift the plane up. Watch this.
Delta Quebec Echo Speedbird 1402.
I'll shut up now. I'll send the stewardess over aquatic. Watch this. This is awesome.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed. Speedbird 1402, hold position. Caution, the generic on the runway.
Parking brakes are set.
Lifting
We
the
may
aircraft.
lift.
We go, lifting the plane up.
Standing by for pushback.
Hold position, Speedbird 1402.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We are cleared for start and push. Parking brakes set.
A lot of traffic behind me.
Push start. Please release parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
Right, let's slow this this speed down. So what we're going to do now is we'll pop into the plane and we'll start cranking up the engines. So engine 2 start, and let's fire up engine 2 and we wait.
Roger, Speedbird 1402.
Wait for the pressure to kick in. Can you hear it? You should start to see rotation on this engine. There we go. So let's just make sure we have good pressure. We do. It's all looking good.
Speedbird 1402, hold position. Caution, the generic on final.
Firing up engine 1.
Hold position, Speedbird 1402.
This is why I wanted the guy to go slow. So I had time to do all of this. There she goes, engine 1. I'll bring you a heater, Seb. Don't hang from the wheels though. People do that and it's hazardous to their life. I love doing all this. I think it's just brilliant. It's just so much better now. What I can do is I can get this off the screen. You guys don't have to see it. And I'll control it all off screen. I hope nothing goes wrong, like stupidly wrong, like me crashing at the end or something.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
So they're going to lower the plane down now?
Parking brakes set.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
You know what I didn't do? The
Ground.
lights.
Startup is complete.
Beacon lights to start the plane. I didn't do that.
Good engine start. Clear to disconnect. See you on the side. Have a good
I do keep forgetting to do my lights.
Position waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
Let me just turn up the brightnesses on. Yeah, I forgot the beacon lights, which is stupid of me. That's the first thing I should be putting on. Okay, so we've got this on taxi, I believe. Yeah. Come on. Taxi lights on. One set to taxi. Beacon light is on. Strobe is on auto. No smoking is on. Seat belts are on. Engines are started, so APU can switch off. APU bleed off. Heating is good on throughout. Wow, we might actually be good to go. So, next thing then, speed brake armed. Maximum auto brake just in case we have to abort the takeoff. And I'm going to do a takeoff config. It might test the takeoff config. We might get a loud beep with the spoilers. Here we go. This is what I'm waiting for. Right, cabin check. Yes, I need to do that. Have a listen.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Flaps for takeoff position, and which I'm not doing yet, and a takeoff config test before we take off. We're good to go. We are good to go, guys. All right. So let's request taxiing, and this one. Yeah. Now depart straight out. Is that going to give us the correct runway that we asked for? Go for that one.
Manchester ground, Rusty Romeo 66 with Mike request taxi.
23 left. Okay.
Rusty Romeo 66 taxi to
Yes. 23 left.
using taxiway Lima Papa Cross.
Hey, humble monk.
Contact tower on 119 decimal.
Oh, I do keep forgetting the limpets. Yeah. Damn it.
Taxi to and hold short runway 23 left.
We're good. There's the arrows, which I've changed from great big blue ones to smaller yellow, smaller green ones. Bang at the color. Okay, we're good. We don't need the pushback anymore, so I can get rid of that. Pop that back on the screen and get rid of it. And we're ready. Let's go. Parking brake is off. Or did I just set it again?
Logan 27 hold.
No.
Caution other traffic.
We're good. Let's go. And the sounds on this plane now are so good.
Hold position, Logan 27.
So once I get set up near the runway, I will perform the final checks and tests and buttons and stuff, and then we'll be good to go.
Roger, Logan 27.
Wait a minute. Now that it's raining. That's meant to be slow. Oh, that will just get on my nerves. I think we'll keep that on until just while we're taxiing. It's a tiny little thing. What good's that? What good is that wiper, really? So yeah, we are having to go over the other runway. No, that's just not good. This rain repellent, does that work? Inop. No. Or does it put that Rain-X stuff on the dashboard? On the dashboard, on the windscreen. We should probably be taxiing slower than this, but I can't get the thing slowed down. There's our runway. 23 left. See, like I said, there's more time setting up the plane and setting up the MCDU than the actual flight time. Okay, so we'll just pop it here. And now I want to go set the transponder to... Come on. That one. And also... flaps, I'll manually set it with instead of a key. So flaps in position 2. And if we do now the takeoff config, what this is going to do is just test the plane is in a condition ready for takeoff. Do that. Takeoff config is set to normal. Still got the company message there, which is rather annoying, as it should only be the parking brake. But according to this, everything is normal, everything is good. Let's put the flight plan up here, and we are ready to go. Okay, we already got clearance to proceed to the runway, so let's do that. The sitter space, hey! I don't have the V speeds come up. I don't know why. I couldn't. I clicked on it and it just said invalid format. And I am a little bit bewildered as to why it's doing that. Because normally it's supposed to just kind of auto-fill them in, you know? Ibex the Goat! Hey, Ibex! How are you, sir? Long time no see. Yeah, I can't get the V1 format error. I don't... Do I just fill one of them in and then it does the rest? I don't know. I mean, what are these? Are these estimates as well? If I fill one in, I think 151's too fast, isn't it? If I fill one in, will it do the rest? No. No, it's redone this. I don't know. I'm gonna put that to 140. I'll set the. I'm just actually making guesses here. Rotate speed at 150, and we'll put the V2. I'm sure this is not quite right, but I don't care. I don't know. It's normally just fills those in on its own. It's quite smart playing this, quite clever. But yeah, not this time. Right, I'm just going to make sure that the QNH pressures are right. There we go. 2960 is set. We're ready. Let's get permission for takeoff.
Manchester Tower, Rusty Romeo.
VFR. Seriously? Can't see a damn thing. The next hurdle is going to be the autopilot. Once it's set, it's fine.
Departing straight out. Approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 23 left.
Cleared for takeoff runway 23 left, Rusty Romeo 66.
Okay, now that we're cleared for takeoff, we're ready to go, we got the clearance. Now I don't mind this guy taking over the ATC communications. You know, all that you are leaving my airspace stuff. I'm going to let the co-pilot take care of ATC now. I'm just concentrating on the actual takeoff. So, just make sure parking brake is set. It is. Everything's set there. We are at normal idle throttle. Good. All is looking absolutely perfect. Except for the weather. But they've allowed us to take off, so let's do that right now. That's okay. Thrust levers to toggle. Everything green on the ECAM display. That's what I like to see. There's the speed set, 140, V1, rotating at 150. What a miserable day. Gear up. And that is some crap weather. Okay, now let's just turn.
Rusty Romeo 66 leaving my airspace frequency change approved. Manchester Tower, Rusty Romeo 66 frequency change. Manchester approach, Rusty Romeo 66.
Throttle is now detented onto the climb position.
Manchester 2,600 feet.
And
Flight following.
flaps now retracting.
Rusty Romeo 66 Manchester approach.
I think I'm pointing the plane up too much. So we're going to stall. See what I mean about the thing? Oh, well done.
Roger, Rusty Romeo 66.
Yeah, I think I'm climbing a little bit too high. my vertical speed is a little bit too much. So we're going to get ourselves onto the flight path and try and see if we can engage the autopilot. Don't see a damn thing out there, but hopefully we'll get above the weather. And maybe on the flight I can figure out where this damn company message is. If anyone knows how to get to the company message, please let me know how to do it on the MCDU. I can print out the weather report.
Rusty Romeo 66, contact Manchester Center on 118.775. Good day. 118.775 Rusty Romeo 66.
Okay, we have autopilot on. Managed speed, which sometimes goes a bit wrong. It sometimes will overspeed.
Rusty Romeo 66, Manchester.
Now this toggle lock,
Continue with climb.
let me just bring this off a second, the autopilot. Because what I want to see there is the word speed.
118.58.
I'm just going to bring my throttle down into the
8 for Rusty Romeo 66. Manchester approach Rusty Romeo 66, 8,100 feet.
I know I'm getting instructions, but it's just going to have to wait. See, we're about to overspeed now,
0 continue with climb.
and I don't know why. If the speed's managed, why is it overspeeding? It's just going to overspeed now. I'm going to get beeps. I'll cancel those. This is the bit I'm not getting. Okay. Do you really mean MCDU when you say that?
Rusty Romeo 66, contact Manchester.
Because I'm not sure. The MCDU is this computer here, and there is no such thing.
775 Rusty Romeo 66.
I mean, I'm in auto throttle. Is it expecting toggle lock? Is that what it is?
Rusty Romeo 66, 8,900 feet.
Okay, set to climb. I wanted to say speed,
Manchester Center, altimeter 2 millimeter decimal 80.
and all I'm getting is messages rusty, 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 rusty. First, let me set my speed. I'm not doing anything until I've got my speed set. Rig. See, I did say beforehand that I had issues with the autopilot. It used to work nice, but I don't know what's been done with it. No, MCDU is this. This is an ECAM. This isn't MCDU up here, and it's already set to auto throttle anyway. See? Ah, we have it. Speed. Thank you. Thank you. That's what I wanted. And it's saying leave a climb. Maybe my detent is slightly wrong.
Rusty Romeo 66, contact leaves approach on 1.
There we go. There we go. Speed, alt, nav. We're good.
134.58 for Rusty
Now what? Manchester Rusty, altimeter 29.
11,000 feet.
I've got to read the messages now that she was on about.
Leaves approach altimeter 29 decimal 77, continuous climb.
Okay. Altimeter 2977 is what? What is altimeter 2977? What altitude do they want me at?
Rusty Romeo 66, contact Manchester Center on 118.775. Good day.
Why would I click auto throttle off though?
118.775
That's what I want, surely.
Manchester Center, Rusty Romeo
Okay, MCDU. No worries, Seb. Yeah, that's okay. I did watch a video on it. Right, anti-ice detected, so engine 1 anti-ice on. Okay, let's do that. We'll do the wings and we'll do the probe here as well. It's detecting ice. I need to climb now. Normally, these people are telling me the altitude they want me at. But, as they're not, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my flight plan. Flight level 240. So let's do that. Flight 24,000 feet. Okay, it's just engaged Operation Climb. And we're ready to go up. Right, seatbelt sign can come off. Engine anti-ice, wing anti-ice is done. That is set. Now, can I go back to having a managed speed again? I wonder. Because we're climbing now, so ideally I could do with a bit more thrust. What happens if I've got a selected speed? I mean, clearly it's staying at that selected speed, because auto throttle now won't do anything, right? Because I've told it to stay at this speed. Yes, this top panel, I can't remember what it's called. Is it FDU or something? Flight display unit or something, or I don't know. But yeah. MCDU is this little machine here. Let's have a look outside. Very typical that we get crap weather. I could clear it up, but now the good thing about the Simbrief flight plan is that when you get to your destination airport, you don't have to worry about, oh, am I going to line up with the runway? Because it's part of the flight plan to line you up with the runway. So that happens. And then you have like, not that I know how to do it yet, you turn on approach mode and then you enable the second autopilot at the same time. And the plane can actually line itself up correctly and even land itself. Right, so we're having a Simpsons opening credit moment here.
Request clearance to transition Charlie airspace.
Rusty Romeo 66 Manchester Center. Cleared through the Charlie airspace.
Yeah, okay, it's taking care of all of that, which is good. I don't think we want to be look at those wings flexing. We don't want to be too high. We're not going to be in the air for that long. Also, once you get above a certain altitude, then you start seeing contrails coming off the plane. You can just barely see them. Maybe here. I don't know if you'll see the contrails here. Maybe not. No, they were extremely faint there. So we are 22 nautical miles away from Shap, is it? This is our arrival time. 15. Why is the display going dark and bright? Have we got some issues here? Just wondering whether I have an electrical issue, but that would be cool, wouldn't it? Not really. Yeah, how to answer a company message. company MSG. Let me see if I can find out. Yeah, obviously there's videos I can watch, but I'd rather have it written down somewhere. Fly-by-wire A32NX printer. Well, while we're in flight, I will this out. Because the problem is that the fly-by-wire MCDU on these videos they're out of date, so the options that you see are not really quite the same. Okay, he's just putting in the on the video. He's just putting in the weather information, so he should get the company message. There we go. Okay. Ah, okay. Where did you go? Where did you go? Ah, it's right there. Okay. All right. I don't think I saw that though. So if we go to MCDU menu, ATSU, AOC menu, and here it is, received messages. And there's our weather information. This looks like a newer version, a newer one, and now we can print that out. There we go. And there's our weather information for the two airports. This is obviously the up-to-date one. It's doesn't look very detailed. Just store that there. That's Manchester. Oh, okay, yeah, I see. It's all there. I don't know how to make sense of all of this. This is 8 knots, right? At 21. Oh, what was it now? 2100. 8 knots. And then we've got. Or is it 21? No, is it 210? 08 knots. And then 240. 11 knots. So this is the heading. So we've got a heading of the wind is at 210 degrees at 8 knots, and at Edinburgh the wind is at 240 degrees 11 knots, so slightly windier there. That's the only part I make sense of. Yeah, that's it. So you can just print it all here. It's all there, but it's obviously this is just the printout version. You don't have to have it on the screen all the time. Yeah, are we sure this is 27-minute flight? Yeah, so in received messages, I knew we'd get it. Thanks for looking though, Seb, appreciate that. Appreciate that. It looks like my video stream doesn't have the likes and dislikes on it, so I'm just going to see if I can edit that and enable that. It's a bug in YouTube. You have to enable it twice, because the first time you do it, it just ignores it. Okay, that's done. So if you want to see the likes and dislikes, you'll just have to do a refresh on the stream, and they'll be there for you. Currently scoring 9-0. Okay, so I'd like to fly a bit higher, get it above this weather, but we're being told flight level 240, so I'm sticking with that right now, and we're just going to have to put up with no visibility. Yeah, let's have a listen to the engine sounds. sometimes they always don't sound like this. Sometimes they sound like the front here. It sounds very bassy and very boomy. Maybe because we're not like full throttle here. Oh, 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 we got some clearance. Look at the clouds, man. Oh God. That is some serious cloudage. Yeah, we're not far out. Sometimes this doesn't update, so you have to wait for it to pop and an update sometimes. But it actually will do that. This one looks okay. I've never... let's have a look. If we bring the flight plan in, you can see this is the, you know, the writing that we had on Simbrief last time, the letters and numbers that I said. It's all here. Yeah, sometimes I wonder whether, is it an actual feature in the game where you can where the sim will say, you know, due to the weather we can't land you at this airport, you're going to have to go to the alternate airport. Does it actually do that? Humble Monk says it auto-updated with no refresh needed. Oh, awesome. Cool. So you don't need to refresh after all. That's even better. Look at this, guys. Oh, buddy. Man, look at that. Oh, that is some serious weather. And we've still got clouds above us. I got my tail designation wrong, didn't I? GRSTY it is. You should see some wing flex if we get... Scottish Centre. Already?
Going to 119.875 Rusty Romeo 66.
I have to keep an eye on here. Oh look, decel already.
Rusty Romeo 66 Scottish Centre, continuous plan.
Now, we're approaching the airport. Then all the other things are done. I'm going to engage managed altitude mode. Why hasn't that gone in? Let's risk managed speed. Managed altitude hasn't gone in. It's kind of... Oh yeah, there we go, the dot. Okay. I've got it to come down to 22 now. That was a whole mistake. No, not you, sorry. Oh my god. There we go. Flight level. See, now that's just disappeared now. I guess we're descending. Praise the Lord. I don't know. What? Yeah, we're not being told by air traffic to descend either.
Easy 240, contact Manchester Centre on 118.775. Good day.
This is us, flight level 240. Are we supposed to be told? Yeah, the altimeter's decreasing because I told it to. I've told it to fly down to level 10,000. According to this, does this mean with see flight level, just nothing there. And then it says 34 nautical miles. Is that to reach INPIP? Or is that to get to the decel? Because if it's to get to INPIP, it means that after we get there, we've got about 10 minutes before we get to the airport. We're 45 nautical miles away from the airport right now, so there's still gaps in my knowledge. So yeah, I told it to get down to 10,000 so that I could hopefully, I don't want to take the, because I've got the flight plan going all the way to the runway, I don't want to take the autopilot off until the last minute. I'm just wondering though, if I do approach, again, another question, when do you enable the approach mode? Is it when you get to this decel bit, or oh, we've got a profile. I've never seen this. Where did this come from? Where are we then on here? Okay, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. This is PH. This is our destination. So that was our flight level. I can't read it. I can't even get any closer. Oh, come on, move up. Don't scroll away. Can we zoom in? Yes. Give me the flight profile. Right, so we want to be coming down to, what the hell is that? $100 what? 10,000 feet when we get to here. Tartan? Really? Tartan? I think we're gonna, okay, we're coming down at a decent rate. But yeah, where's Tartan on here? Tartan's not even on here. It's not letting me go. Enter destination data. No way. Yeah, looks like you can't scroll up once it's been done. Nope. Yeah. Right now we don't have managed altitude. Oops. Now we do. But it's still coming down to the altitude that I have set on here. So these dots mean that the autopilot is handling the speed, handling the heading, and now it's handling the altitude. See, these are just the bits I have to learn, like at what point do you start decelerating? Decelerating. Because I see this. Do you start descending? And also, at what point can you hit the approach?
205, Rusty Romeo 66.
Oh, these displays are flickery, man.
Rusty Romeo 66, 13,000.
This is bad weather doing this.
Rusty Romeo 66 Edinburgh, approach altimeter 29.65, continuous plan.
Continuous plan, so she's happy. Okay, you go.
Romeo 66 contact Scottish Center on 119.875.
I seem to be happy with my altitude. I'm not going to be able to have any visibility on this runway until we get there.
75 Rusty Romeo 66.
Oh, it's going to be another one of those
Rusty Romeo.
landings, isn't it? Like we did with the Piper. Was it the Piper we did it with? I'll get this off the screen for you guys, so it's not blocking the view. Contact Edinburgh approach. Okay, and we're currently at 11,000 feet. Alright.
121.20.
All it is frequencies. Altimeter 2962.
Rusty Romeo 6610,000.
There it is. 2962. This is the barometric pressure, right?
29.62 continue as planned.
Continuous plan, so they're happy. There's nothing in the ATC, you know, when you can, like when you're cruising and you can ask them for a higher cruising altitude or a lower one. It doesn't really apply here by the looks of things. Okay, so there's no flight level now. Now we're on that decel thing. Well, let's start bringing this down. I can't see this plane is going to adjust the altitude on its own. So I'm gonna have to do it. Jeez. I can't hit the switches properly because the plane's bumping around with the wind. There's barely any throttle on right now. Obviously because we're descending. Oh my god. Can we see the rest of the flight plan, please? Seriously? We're over the airport? Oh, yeah, pretty much. This flight plan doesn't look right to me. At all. Because it doesn't look like it's bringing us into the runway. There's the airport. We're just going to go straight past it. And yet on the flight plan, you have this full curving loop where it actually brings you into the runway. And it looks like we're not going to get that. So this flight isn't going to end correctly. I don't think we're going to get it down because I can't see anything in this weather. And I feel like it will be a cheat to change it. The approach mode doesn't go on. Yeah, something's happening here. Firstly, this line should not be continuing beyond EGPH. Right? That's my first worry. And secondly, on the approach here, there should be a loop around where the autopilot would follow, which gets us onto the runway. And it's not doing that either. So I think something happened when I went here and I pressed this link MCDU. I think something happened there. Because we've definitely got issues now. So this is the first time in the last 2 Airbus flights where this has gone wrong. Because it's live, so it's bound to. So the only thing I can do is set up a new flight coming in. Oh, it's got enable ignoring weather. Are they going to deny me? Oh, that's why we're flying here, guys. We can't land. They're not letting us land in this weather. So that's answered my previous question. We're going to climb. So aren't we now going to Are we now not going to Newcastle Airport then?
Roger, Rusty Romeo 66.
Because she hasn't said anything about going to Newcastle. Yeah, we can't land. The weather's too bad. Now what? Why isn't the plane redirecting to Newcastle? Too many questions. I have way too many questions. And I don't see any of them being answered on this flight at all. I just don't get it. Okay, here's Manchester. Here is Edinburgh. Newcastle, the alternative airport, will be here.
205 Rusty Romeo 66. Edinburgh approach Rusty Romeo 669.
EGNT, isn't it?
Rusty Romeo 66 Edinburgh approach altimeter 29.62 continue as planned.
I don't know if we can program this in now. I don't think it'll go in there, will it? Okay. I don't... That's not it though. We haven't done it. Insert. Okay. Let's see if the plane now flies us over to Newcastle. Like, where are we? There's...
Rusty Romeo 66 contact Sandy approach on 122.905. Good day.
no idea why the heading was set straight up.
2.905 for Rusty Romeo 66. Gundy approach Rusty Romeo 661, 0,000 feet.
Right, so we have to try Newcastle. Oh, what happens if you can't land at Newcastle? Then what happens? I mean... And the problem is, the other thing I don't know how to do is programming all the approaches. You know, the SIDS and the stars and all that stuff. The approach, and to program in the runway that we're going to be coming in on. So we're going to our alternate. I don't know what the QN is. This meant to be the QNH at the airport that we're going to? Yeah, too many gaps. I have too many gaps in my flight knowledge. This is the fly-by-wire, yes. In the stream title, it says A3. Actually, it says A320NX, which is incorrect. I'll correct that now, so it doesn't cause any confusion. The key thing I wanted from this flight today was a proper approach onto a runway. That was it, you know, for landing. Then I'd have been happy. And that's the only thing that's kind of gone wrong, really. I don't know what the plane's doing. I don't know where it's going. Oh, it is heading. Okay, we're heading in the right direction by the looks of it. But there's a way to program in not just the destination airport, but also airways. Here we go. Isn't it supposed to give you a list of airways and then you pick one? You know, it's so annoying when you see people do it and then it doesn't work for you, you know. Like this looks like it's going to go to Newcastle and then on to Edinburgh, which is not what I want. Yeah, I think we're just going to have to, just for the sake of getting into land, we're going to have to do it all by hand, do it all manual, which means I'm going to have to cheat because I'm going to want to see where I'm going. You know, if the game's going to throw me a curveball, then I'm going to have to address that. Which is a shame, because on here, as I said, you can program in. And she's really getting on my nerves now.
Going to 119.875.
How come there's a knob here to adjust the frequency,
Rusty Romeo 661, 0,000 feet.
but there doesn't appear to be one to control volume? Why can't I shut them up? Anyway, yeah, I know that there's a way in here to put in all the approaches so that the plane will do all the approach for you. I don't know why my plane isn't even on this display. That's another thing. Let me just go to Arc and see where we are. Yeah, I just don't know enough. I'm gonna have to find a way to learn this stuff again. But nobody really see. You get real pilots doing tutorial videos. The problem is they talk too fast and they assume you know. They don't do it on a "we assume you don't know anything" level. You know, they do it on a "you already must be pretty advanced to understand what I'm going to say here," and that's what they do. And they talk about I think A320 Sim Pilot. He's the worst one. His tutorials would be good if I knew what he was talking about, but there's too many abbreviations and he runs through it so fast I just can't keep up. It's impossible to keep up, so I can't follow him, which is a shame, because he knows what he's doing, because he's a real pilot of this plane. But his tutorials shouldn't be called tutorials, because unless you're of a certain level, you just get lost. I mean, I know what I know, and I just get totally lost with him, which is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is.
205, Rusty Romeo 66.
This will not go into a managed mode now.
Romeo 6610,000 feet. Rusty Romeo 66 Edinburgh, approach altimeter 29 or
Okay, I'm going to shut this off. I'm going to shut down the flight following. But before I do that, I have to turn off Captain Birdseye here, because otherwise he'll put it back on again.
Approach Rusty Romeo 66, cancel flight following.
Rusty Romeo 66 Edinburgh, approach, cancellation received. Hold 7000. Frequency change approved.
So when Newcastle comes up, we can at least try and land. on here yet. Way too far away, I think, still. Yeah, so a little bit annoying. Slightly. Actually, more than slightly. Because I wasn't expecting to not be able to land. I could have overrode it in the sim, but chose not to. And also the fact that it actually lost the flight plan, that wasn't cool. I'm just going to see if we load the flight plan back in. Not that I want to actually do it. And then I have to commit it, don't I? So I don't remember. Because this isn't going to change until I commit the flight plan, but I have to remember that this FMGC is nothing for me. So this is where you go and say, hey, flight plan, and you go, it programs it in here. And then see, I already committed the flight plan to the MCDU while I was streaming today, just on this stream, and I've already lost on how to do it. My memory's terrible. Well, you see, and there's also on the flight plan, you can pick it apart, right? So you can pick one. Oh, let's see if we can do it that way. Well, you pick the alternative airport like this one. Not the no. Well, it's now our alternative airport, and you want to get rid of it, and you can't. Oh, okay, maybe we can. Let's try this one. Now, I want it gone so it's not here. Let's go back. Edinburgh. And it's white. That's kind of bothering me. To find out the airways, I'd have to go into little nav map, or I'd have to go into Simbrief, I guess, and have a look and see what's going on with that. But Simbrief doesn't have the information for this airport. It's just got it filed as an alternative. I really don't know what I'm doing. I mean, it's like for me, this is like the pilot died and I've been shoved into the cockpit to try and get everybody down safely because I happen to have used a simulator before. But we'll try and figure it out on the go. I don't have time to look at the scenery outside, unfortunately, and I'm sorry I couldn't bring you a better flight. Okay, so let's have little nav map go to its proper. I've noticed with little nav map is it keeps forgetting its default layout. When you start it up, it doesn't start on the default layout, which is very strange. It's like having, you know, apps and stuff open on your PC and then you switch it off by the power, and when you power it back up again, all the windows are still there. It's like, no, you're supposed to be back to square one. Okay, anyway, so let's have a look. So let's see what we've got in terms of procedures. No, not departure, we want arrival procedures. Okay, so we've got some ident codes, but I don't know whether it's going to accept those. So flight plan today would be nice. EGNT Airways via is that FI or FL? Okay, let's try FI. Waypoint mismatch, okay, right. Don't know then. No idea. We'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. And how do you completely erase a flight plan? What's in here? No, don't need any of those. Right, so in here, load up the flight plan, which is here. Oh, can we have an auto land? I can't remember how I committed it to the actual flight plan now. What menu I went into. That's it, it's just those four. Oh, go back, go back, go back. This might not work, but I'm going to try it anyway. Lovely. Okay. But now at the airport, arrival. Oh, thank you. Approach ILS 07 is available. Let's take that approach. Now the transition. This is where I get a little bit lost. This is what I wanted though. I don't know what transition it is. I've got to put one in and I don't know which one it is. Because I'm not sure what a transition is. And the star, let me just check. I'm just checking on little nav map to see if it's listing any. Show all procedures. Right, there's no stars obviously, but it stars. Wait a minute. Give me a sec. Arrival procedures. What did I put here? ILS 07. And that's FI07. I don't know whether that's going to work. Probably not. I'm learning on the go here, guys. It might not go into here. There. What's this one? Trans. Yeah, let's just go with that. So that might get us actually onto the runway. Yes! Oh! You see, it curves us round and gets us onto the runway. That's the plan. But why is it going? Why is it going all the way? Oh, because it's going to. No. It wants to go back. It looks like it wants to go back to Manchester. Oh, we've done that. Oh, I'm getting there, but I'm not getting there. Oh, this is so annoying, guys. I'm not in public. What, on this? No, never. Not so far, anyway. Yeah, I want it to not. I want it to not bother with EGCC. I want this out. I want this part of the flight plan gone. Because all this route that we've programmed in, that's exactly what I'm after. You know, programming in the approach. That's what I want. Right? But wait a minute, this NT underneath there, this is just garbage to me. The text on the screen is just garbage. Runway, is that runway 7? I don't even know where I am. Are we near Newcastle? Are we over Newcastle? I think we should just. Yeah, it's gonna fly to Manchester first. This is no good. I don't know how to manipulate the flight plan. Like if I want to take away an entry, why can't I just click on it and then just have an option for erase? Why not? Right, E, G, N, T. Just that. Not in database. Right, so Newcastle Airport, certainly not in the database. Fair enough. I can't just put in one airport in there then, right? No, okay. Company route, not allowed. Yeah. So, where on the flight plan we have, I can't just type in like C107 that to EGNT, that won't work. EGNT, runway 7. But if this is Manchester up here, Newcastle wouldn't be on this side. Yeah. This is all messed up. Where are we on the map anyway? I think I'm going to abort the flight, guys. I'm fighting against the wrong thing here. So what I'm going to do is import the flight, and I want to see if the flight that gets imported has got all the correct. I'll tell you what I mean. Okay, so we've got the Simbrief flight. Okay, and I already have it saved out. So this is what I'm trying to get to here. If I load the Simbrief flight plan at this screen instead, which I'm about to do now. You might not see it on the screen. I don't know if you can. Can't? Okay. Don't worry. I'm going to go into flight plans. I'm going to try and demonstrate what I mean here. I think this is the one. So, as you can see, God. As you can see, when you do this via Simbrief, you see you get the takeoff runway 23L, which is what we did, and then it routes you all the way around, and then you start taking the flight path to the correct airport, okay? And then once you get to Edinburgh, this was the crucial bit for me. This is why I wanted to go with Simbrief. Is when you get there, oh, this is changed now. This is different. It's all different. Oh my God. Why are you doing this? All right. When I first did it, before I started the stream, we had a line coming up here. Instead of this green line pointing over there, it was pointing up here, or maybe towards here. And then it curved out in a smooth line, and then curved round and brought us into the runway. And now, it's just poof, which is silly. Don't go automatic when I'm telling you. Okay, so something like this, but I think that might be a bit too, no, it might be okay. And as you can see, doing it this way gives you a perfect run into the runway. So you can leave the autopilot on for most of this, you know, and as soon as the autopilot makes the final turn down here, you can turn it off, start, and then, you know, you're probably already descending, and then you can just descend onto the runway, nice and easy. So approach ILS 24. If I fly now, all of this will be programmed into the plane correctly. But this approach should have been already on Simbrief, and it should already have been programmed in, and it wasn't. So what we can do is, if I bring up Simbrief again, just want to test this theory, guys. I have to do it. So if we go into a new flight, okay, so we're starting from scratch, and just set it up again as we did. So airline is BA, the flight number is 177, departure was EGCC, and we're going to arrive at Edinburgh, which is EGPH, and if this works, yeah, the weather's not going to, if we do this, the weather will not play a factor. Departure time, don't care. Airbus A320 is the airframe. And I think that's pretty much all we need to do. Arrival runway. It doesn't have things like the approaches, but I think that gets calculated when you generate the flight. Let's see. So click generate the flight. Take a look. All right. So we don't really see anything here. Too much. It's not really doing it, is it? Kind of disappointing, that. Okay, so then I go download FMS. And I choose what they've erroneously called Flight Sim 2020. That is also compatible with MSFS, which is what it should have been labeled. I'm going to save that out. Place the previous one. Okay. Now let's load that flight plan in again and see if it does the same crap at the end. Because I'm hoping it's not going to do that, because when I first did it, Simbrief put in the correct approach and everything, and it looked, and I thought, wow, this is cool to have all the approach in and everything. That would be fantastic. But if it's actually not going to do that, it's going to be disappointing. Okay, so this is the flight plan we just created going in. So let's zoom into Edinburgh here. Looks like it's messed it up again. Yep. Yeah, you can't have this approach and then just go zoop onto the runway. That you just can't do that. And this, so what this automatic approach is, I do not know. So the runway is 24. So we've got ILS 24, which we would choose. So knowing that it's missing this ILS 24 approach, like that, how would you then program? If I'm going to import this flight plan into the computer on the plane, I need to tell it to add this approach, right? So it's basically load up this flight plan and then add ILS 24 as the approach. I just want someone to tell me I'm right or wrong. But nobody watches my stuff that knows. Like, there's no pilots watching my stuff, so I'll never find out. Anyway, so we'll get rid of this. Go to Manchester. Zoom to details. Come on. No, when I say zoom, I mean zoom, like proper zoom. Oh, okay, it's got stuck here. God. Okay. The weather's not going to be an issue this time. So at least that's one thing out the way. You guys think this stream is worth keeping? Or should I just delete it afterwards? Alright, so weather today is going to be bright and sunny and everything's going to be beautiful. Don't want clear skies though. Scattered clouds, I'll be skies, just to keep the brightness up. Alright, so I'm just going to run through this very quickly without much narration. This way it's just quicker. Can't be bothered to wait. I'm going to put all the lights on that I don't need on, because I know I'm going to forget them later. There'll be no passengers boarding today. I mean, there will be, but I won't be doing it through the MCDU. I just want to do the... I'm only interested in the flight plan. What I wouldn't mind on this plane as well is like the Piper Arrow has, where you've got those preset states, the cold and dark state, and like ready for engine start state, that kind of stuff. That'd be cool. See what I mean? This is another thing that has to be removed from this sim, is having this radio communications on by default. That can't happen.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by.
Oh shit.
Ground, please cancel pushback operation.
Roger. Pushback cancelled.
I've never seen a number. Never seen that minimized like that either. I've never seen a number by that before. That's a new one. Okay. Yes, for some reason, something's telling the ATC when the Captain Birdseye here is set to automatic ATC. He's calling for pushback at an inappropriate time. I'm not even ready yet, and he's already calling it in. So that needs to stop. I don't know why they've got that in, but whatever mod is responsible for that needs to stop because it's just not appropriate at all. Wouldn't be so bad if it called it in at the right time, but it doesn't. It doesn't need to be taking over the pushback situation. It just needs to talk to the people in the tower and wish them a nice day and all that stuff, and change frequencies, that kind of thing. Really doesn't need to do anything else. So there may be a way to set the autopilot, or not the autopilot, AI, to set the AI to have it off by default. That may be possible in the menus. Not 100% sure on that. Okay, so we have power to this, and that's what I wanted. So Atsu, and then we go into AOC, and then init, load in the flight plan. But now I have to remember how I confirmed it. Don't remember. Nav aids, runways, routes. Ooh. Yes. That's in data. Second page. I have to remember that. Okay, so I think it might be here. Init request. There you go. There's your flight plan. Good. Is that on the screen? Yes. Okay, this is what I wanted to get to. So if I zoom out, it's probably going to be really tiny. Yeah, it is. No, I wanted to see the end. I want to see if there's an approach there. Okay, so let's assume that there's no approach. ILS 24 is not, as we know we're landing at runway 24. So if I scroll down, oops, too far. Oh, can I just click on this bottom one instead then?
Manchester ground easy 128 taxi to the gate. Easy 128 taxi.
Okay, arrival.
04 via taxiway Bravo Delta.
Oh yes, ILS 24. I can't believe I have to even put this in and insert that into the flight plan.
Taxi
Okay,
104 via
there you go. So now we have the runway.
November Charlie November Alpha easy 128.
But how can I tell if... Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wasn't there a way to navigate around this? No then. I wonder if I can see it on my old pad here. Let's have a look. Do not press link MCDU. Do not press it. Rusty, do not press it, or you will be exterminated. Ah, no, because see, when it says link MCDU, I don't know if it's wanting to send the details from here out, or if it's getting the details from the MCDU and bringing them into the pad, which is what I would really want. Because loading this from Simbrief's not going to make any difference. It's going to bring everything up, but it doesn't have the ILS 24 approach on it. I think this might be right. Now it's got the approach. Oh, damn. I wish we could see it on here. It's not like the Garmin ones where you can move the map around and check it out. It doesn't let you do that, as far as I know. I don't know what these do. We've got flight plan there. Ah, there, here we go. But if I zoom in... Oh, wait, you can. I see, I knew it. Right, we zoom out. You can do this, guys. Now, how do I do it? There's a way to navigate to the next point, the next point, the next point. Think. Is it done here? Get the flight plan up. There's a way. There's some. I'm sure there's something you can turn, and like a knob you can turn. And every time you click it round, it goes up to the next point, and the next point, and the next point. Oh, this is annoying, because I know it can be done. Ah! Next waypoint. Surely it can't be this. How do you do it? And it just... I'm sure it's a rotary dial. I'm sure it's a dial, and you can just... You can go click, 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 and it... Waypoint? No, it's not that. Oh, damn, I don't know. Yes, you can cycle all the way through it. And that's what I want to confirm that we're going to be landing correctly. Oh, man. Nobody? Anybody? It can be done. Go to flight plan. Don't think it's here though. Oh, what's this? This now. Why is that? Here we go, here we go, here we go. See? Right, we go up. Told you. Okay. Yeah, keep going. There we go. Oh, what a weird route in though. Okay, now we're at the end of the flight. Now you can zoom in. And again. What the hell is this? Okay, so there's the airport. So we go around there, across and down. Perfect. Okay, that's what I want. However, this curved line looks weird. It looks like we're going to go past the airport, curve around, and go up, across, and then down the runway. Still gets us there. That's just a very strange approach. And I don't know why this is here. I don't want to click erase or insert. Yeah, see, I knew there was a way to cycle through. I thought it was a rotary knob, but clearly not. Alright. Right. I'm going to do the flight, guys. Don't know if you guys want to stick around for this, but I'm going to do it. It's a short flight anyway. And if it goes wrong again, it goes wrong again. Kind of... you just learn from your errors, right, I suppose? Or the gaps in the knowledge is what you learn from. I'm going to have to press one of these. Press erase. Now I have no idea whether ILS-24 is still there. So, cycle through quickly and just see if it still is there. It is. Okay. Right. We're good to go. Lights on, everything's good. Fine. Let's get the hell out of here. Nope. Don't want that.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by. Easy 128, hold position, caution, other traffic.
Determined to get a proper flight in. I don't know how to do the co-pilot thing, Seb. We'll have to set that up one time, eh? Give it a go.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft.
I love the truck's reflection on the body.
Standing by for pushback.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We are cleared for start and push. Parking brakes set.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
The initial
Parking brakes are released.
tug speed, it's quite fast though.
You can start the engines.
It's a pity it didn't
Start in the sequence.
remember my last tug speed. Like when I set the tug to a certain speed, I'd like it to remember that setting. But it doesn't. So it is what it is. So let's fire up the first engine. Man. Okay, I think we can speed the tug up a little bit. I don't need that much time. Firing up engine 2. Okay, I've also got to steer the tug as well. Got to drive the tug. There's another British Airways behind me, look. Come on engine, start turning, there we go. Yes, I'm going to have to definitely start choosing my own weather. Okay, both engines are now fired, starter can go to normal. Gas is on, predicted wind shear is on. Everything looks good. Okay. Ooh, they're gonna have to get some serious steering done, boy. That's better.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Done.
Parking brake set.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
Ground. Startup is complete. You may disconnect.
Roger. Good engine start. Cleared to disconnect. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Parking brake on, APU bleed on, seatbelts on, no smoking is on. We're good to go. Once that truck disappears. Straight out, runway 23L please, would be nice.
With MicroQuest Taxi
If you do depart straight out, does it assign you the runway that's on your flight plan?
Runway 23 left via taxiway Lima Papa, cross runway 23 right Delta Zulu
Or
Tango.
does it do that anyway?
Contact tower on 119.4.
This is all good.
Taxiing hold short runway 23 left using taxiway Lima Papa, cross runway 23 right Delta Zulu Tango, Rusty Romeo 66.
I'm fine with that. I know the route. Let's go. Parking brake is released. And let's have part 2. I'd have normally edited both parts together of the flight, but the weather's a bit different. But guys, oh, okay, I couldn't steer the plane. My mouse was focused on a different screen. So we're going to quickly trundle across the runway here. I don't know why it's stuttering. It could be because it knows everything's going right for me this time, and so it's going to find a way to mess things up for me with the frame rates. I've got a checklist to run through here, which I'll do in just a moment. Once we're on the runway, I'll run through that checklist. We'll do the flaps, we'll do the brakes, all that stuff. Just follow this line, this curvy line, get ourselves on. Alright, so checklist, it wants auto brakes 2 max, no problem, done. Next, cabin check. Ooh, no voice for takeoff, okay. Cabin check is still on for some reason, that's a new one.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Oilers armed. Maps into takeoff position. 1, 2. Okay. APU bleed does not need to be on anymore, so we can take that off. Also APU power can come off. Now we can run the takeoff config, which should come back as normal. It has. We are ready for takeoff. Ah. Okay. On the flight plan, the first, well, once we get away, we're going to be flying at 24,000. So I'm going to set that right here, instead of peeing about with some between altitude. That's the altitude I want you to fly at. Speed, I'll manage that at 250 for now, 260, something like that. Not going to have the plane manage it for now. I don't trust it. Not until I'm a bit more familiar with what's going on. And for those of you who don't know, I have mentioned this before. Oh my god. Honestly, it's just these dialogues are just tripping over themselves. Right. For those who don't know, I have mentioned before, if you sit in the middle of the aircraft, you've got these 3 little plastic balls, and the idea is that when you're correctly sat, proper position on your seat here, that the ball on the other side should be completely hidden by the red one. Same on the co-pilot side. You shouldn't be able to see this one. It should be exactly hidden behind the red. That's how you adjust your height and your position on the seat. That's what that's for. It does serve a purpose. I did want to know, and I did get to find out, which is cool. Yeah, took me a while to find it out, but I did, and it's a cool thing. Right, so Just check auto brakes. Parking brake is on. It is. Engines are normal. Everything is good to go. Right. Okay, we are now at full thrust. Down on the nose a little bit. Oh, I did forget to ask. You're quite right. Don't care. Flaps to the first position and retracting the flaps to the fully retracted position. Looks like auto throttle cannot be disarmed. You can't take it off. Get ourselves lined up, and then we'll have the autopilot take the plane up to 24,000 feet and do its thing. Frame rates look a little bit iffy at the moment. So, yeah, if Simbrief isn't providing, or maybe there's a way in Simbrief to plot the ILS 24 approach. Maybe there's a way, but if not, it means that little nav map is still my official plotter. We'll intercept the flight path at some point. So ground spoilers are still armed. Yes, you're right, I should have disabled those. And we can also take off the seatbelts sign, and we should have a clear screen, which is nice. Because I don't have an alternative, Seb, is basically the thing. Unless you mean, do you mean the AI doing the ATC calls, or do you mean the ATC in general? Because I can't use VATSIM because I don't know how to talk on there. Unless you mean this, which he can actually do now.
Manchester Center, Rusty Romeo 66 is type Airbus A320N 5 miles southeast of Echo Golf Charlie Bravo 12,800 feet. Request, flight following. Rusty Romeo 66 Manchester Center.
Autopilot is now engaged.
Squawk 1626 Rusty Romeo 66. Rusty Romeo 66 radar contact 5 miles east of Echo Golf Charlie Bravo 14,400 feet. Altimeter 29.92. Roger Rusty Romeo 66.
Now it says lever climb. Is that because it's expecting the lever to be in the climb position? Because I know my detents are a little bit... Okay, it's gone off now. Yeah, they're a little bit where I have to either, once I'm there at the climb, it has to, like, I have to squeeze it, the joystick or the throttle forward or back just a tad. Now, all I want the AI to do with the ATC is just basically, every time they say things like change frequency or you're leaving my frequency, please tune in, blah 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 blah, just basically just take care of that so I don't have to keep doing it. That's all I have it for, really. Well, what a beautiful day in the UK. Is this auto-scrolling? Yeah, we'll leave it there. Is this the weather radar? Yeah. Seems about right. Oh, is this the real weather radar?
Manchester Center, Rusty Romeo 66. Request clearance to transition.
See? All this stuff.
Rusty Romeo.
But this only kicked off because the AI kicked that off. The AI pilot did that one.
Charlie Airspace, Rusty Romeo 66.
Right? Oh no, that's Manchester. No, yeah, Manchester. Sorry, yeah, Manchester did it. Request IF. No, just leave all that alone. I'm just gonna fly. Okay. Now, as for the descent, all the flight levels should be programmed into here, right? When you like, it should say flight level 240. Then if it says flight level 100, so like 10,000 feet, the plane should automatically descend to that, right? But it looks to me, am I going the wrong way? Yep. It looks to me like it's saying flight level. See, there's a quote there that tells me that it's the same flight level throughout the whole flight. Until here, when you get to 3,000, right at the end. That seems like quite a drop. Yeah, I don't know. What's this? I can't remember which pages are which here. So the approaches, we chose ILS 24, didn't we? Which was this one. What ultimate subscription? Oh, okay. I think this is for Navigraph, maybe? I don't know. Go away. Right, the flight plan is here. Where did I see... Oh, here. Oh, man. I'm trying to scroll down here instead. Right, the flight profile then. Well, this is climbing up to 24,000, right? Yes. Yep, because this is 25 right here. Flight level 250, I think. Yep. And so we're just below it. Once we leave in pip and get to, yeah, TOD, which is time of descent, right? Or top of descent? I don't know, top of descent. Between in pip and in rev is when we start descending. So after in pip, we stay until, I wish there'd be another dot here, but this is a text file, so it obviously can't show us where we are. After in-pip then, we're going to reach top of descent. This is top of climb, yes? I don't know. And then when it reaches top of descent, we begin our descent here. And then our final approach descent there. But I can't make these numbers out properly. That's 50, that's 100. So this is flight level 240, so this would be 5,500 or 6,000 feet. We're going to bring it down to, from here, down to 6,000-ish, and then finally in. Okay. What did the flight plan say? It's got 3,000 there, but that's... Where's Pip? In Pip, there. So between there... Well, that's 3,000. That's never 3,000 on here. That dot is not 3,000. That looks to be around 6 to me. So we've got in Pip, and then... Is that in Rev next? Does it have it on here? In Pip and in Rev. There's in Pip. Right, EDN is my next one, which is I don't know, I don't see it here. SKDO. Anyway, after in-pip then I'm going to start descending down to... Well, I suppose we could descend all the way down to 3. Yeah. So Nelsa is the one coming up next. So cycle through it. Other way one might be easier. No, let's go to the top. Oh boy. Right, Nelsa. That's the one that's coming up. And we are 10 nautical miles. An expected flight level 240. Is this... Yeah, it is expected, isn't it? It's not... Oh, this is the flight level that you're at. No, this is the expected one. Okay. Let's add a bit more temperature into the poor people in the back, because they're probably a little bit cold. And here as well. Oh, it won't let me do it from here. Okay. What's going on? I can't turn the dials. Shouldn't something be lit up here? Guys? What the hell? We're paused. Why are we paused? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I tell you. I mean... What's going on? Oh, flip. Right, so we'll increase the temperature all round. 22 is pretty comfortable, so I don't want to go up too much. We've been sat here all this time, just not progressing. That's just... there's a sickness going on. A sickness. Actually, I said 22 is comfortable. I've just turned it up to too much, haven't I? Okay. gonna... Is this the temperatures it's set to, or is this what it is currently? It's currently, because it's coming down. Okay. 22 is nice and comfortable. That's a good temperature to be at. Enter destination data. You know my destination. Go away. Now in the performance data, let's go to next phase. Oh, yep. Can we put this in? Okay, I can put that in. But no, this is the QNH at the destination airport. I haven't got a clue what that is. I only know what we are here right now. I want to know. You remember that part where we went and we typed and there was all the V speeds? Well, that's what I want to be at. Okay, so this is our fuel. So this is fuel weight and fuel weight center of gravity, I think. We'll fill those in. I think that's it for that. Guys learning anything? I don't know if there's anybody still here, but I'm gonna just pretend. Right, so this is the go around. Flaps. Right, flaps at 137, slats at 17. Right, clean at 199. Telling me much there. I thought the speeds would be on the performance page. It just makes sense for them to be here. Yep, there was 3 speeds down the side here. Oh well. Fuel weights and balances, did we put those in? Oh no. You can actually refuel here, by the way, yeah. Don't need to do it though. Okay, let's start boarding people. You're gonna have to jump. So these are destination runways, I guess? I don't know. Nothing's happening. Waypoints? Okay, go back. Can you go back, or do you just have to go back to the menu? Is there a lot of bugginess in the current release of the plane or the sim? Yeah, I mean, I've got the development version, so I'm getting updates every day. Strangely enough, though, I haven't put in today's updates or today's update for this plane, so I'm probably 24 hours out on that one. Which is fine. Where the hell? Build predictions, we did that, didn't we? Yes. So normally it tells us here. Let me see if we can we get it in? No. it would tell you how much extra fuel you had in when you land, by the time you land. So it must be missing some information. So it tells you how much extra, like so many gallons or kilos, whatever it is, and how much minutes of flying time you have remaining. I don't know why it's not displaying that. I must have missed a step out, which wouldn't surprise me second time round here. I'm trying to go through all of these numbers. Okay, we're coming up to Shap now. We better get back onto the flight plan here. So Shap, a bevy, and then when we get to INPIP we can start descending. Looks like we have 55 nautical miles. Is this when we do it? This decel, does that match this top of descent here? And then you start coming down. So when we hit at 1408, assuming we're on time, at 1408 do we start descending. This is perfect. Speed, altitude, it's in cruise mode and it's nav. So the autopilot is taking care of all of this. It's exactly spot on. So I could put the altitude into manage mode, but it doesn't want to do it. Let me see if I can have a bit more of a personal relationship with this screen. I can find it. There it is. Okay. So if I press for managed altitude, the dot doesn't come up. I can have it manage the speed if it's not going to overspeed on me. See, I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, or if this system's just a little bit buggy at the moment. This is what I'm not sure about. Oh, now. Are we dropping in power? We are. Is it slowing down? No. This is surprisingly quiet at the front. I wonder why it was booming the last time then. I wonder if it was to do with the weather or something maybe. The sounds were definitely different. It's bugging me now why I can't get the speeds up on here. I don't know where they are, and it's annoying me. New cruise altitude, yeah, okay, go away. No, stop. Oh yeah, those are just messages. Ground temperature, don't know. Flight level 240, temperature is minus 32 up here. Nice. We're all comfortable here. 20, 23, 24, 24. Let's see if we can just take that down a little bit in case people are getting a little bit hot under the collar. I noticed the cockpit dial gives me a slightly different temperature than the two cabins when I put them at the same position. Yeah, 22, 23, that's pretty much very, very good. This display, I believe, is called ISIS. Yay! So, we're approaching INPIP now. But does decel come on to show? Does it show on the screen? 55 nautical miles. Yeah, I'm going to start a descent. I pick it up in bits, Aquatic. I've just picked it up slowly over time, and you know, just watching videos that can show me the next stage from what I know. You know, because the more you know, then you say, okay, I'm stuck on this bit, and then you go and learn about that bit. You know, like, how do I program a flight plan in here from scratch? Go and learn that. And then, you know, if you can import a flight plan like this one, and you want to learn how to program other stuff, then you go and learn. And there's tons of videos on it. Right, I'm gonna start the descent. It looks like.
Going to 119.87 by Rusty Romeo 66.
Yeah, it's not interested.
Romeo 66 flight level 240.
Rusty Romeo 66 Scottish Center, continuous plan.
The continuous plan. Normally they would say descend and maintain such and such. I'm going to go to 6,000, which is on the profile. It's on this profile here, 6,000. I think 3,000 might be a little bit too low. Because don't we have all of that? Got all of that navigation around the airport yet? Yeah, all of this. We've got all of this to do yet. So I can do that at 6,000, and then as we're going around maybe this loop here, which is bizarre, but okay. And as we're going around this loop, we can start descending down to 3. So it's coming down, but it's coming down a little bit too fast for me. Let's just not come down so quickly. Got plenty of time. Okay, how do I... Okay, I've made it 1300. Come on. That's it. So that should go now to 1.3 here. That should stay at 1.3. Okay, so 1,300 feet per minute then. And that might be too slow. I can't win. Should we meet in the middle and go to 1,800? I don't want to have an Airbus sitting at 6,000 feet for all that time, not really. So if we're doing 1,800 feet a minute, let's say nearly 2,000 feet a minute, and we want to descend 13,000, are we looking at 7 minutes or something like that to get down? And by the time we get 7 minutes out the way, so is DM12B, that's the final thing, isn't it? Yep. So 7 minutes, 7, can't be. If we're here already, 9 minutes to get onto the runway, see it's 10 minutes. Where's the clock? 14:09. Is that the current time? I'm a very confused individual. Okay, I'm gonna have the plane manage the descent, I think. See, but it's oh no, it's changed. Took a little while. Yeah. So the plane will manage it now. Yeah, I think it's it's coming down even steeper now to compensate for probably my mistake. I don't know, do I? And I'm sure this purple circle means something. Destination data, go away. Purple circle, they've got purple there and purple there. Do they match? Do they match up to anything? About this and this? No. No. See, the plane's going to turn that way and then it's going to do some weird flight path into the runway. Why it just couldn't go over there and in, which is what we saw on the world map, was that we were coming in this way and then it went out into the North Sea a little bit and then just came in. But the ILS-24 approach that we picked has given us a completely different route. Please don't tell me we can already see the airport. If this goes wrong, then it's back to the drawing board for me. I'm going to have to grab one of these real pilots and do a one-to-one Discord session with them. Vected teeth, what do you mean? Not with you there, Aquatic. The flies.
205, Rusty Romeo 66. Edinburgh approach, Rusty Romeo 66, 11,000 feet. Rusty Romeo 66, Edinburgh.
Okay, we're at 10,000 feet almost, and we're about to do the final turns. So maybe we do need to be down at 3,000. Why is it leveling off? Why are you leveling off? You have not met your goal. Your goal is there. Why is the plane leveling off? I'd like to know this. Oh, here we go. She's on a burner. Assuming she's taken care of all this herself. Yes, altitudes. Is that lit up because it hasn't met the goal yet, or yeah, I don't know. I got too many damn questions. Tinolino, hey, yes, the JU-52 is cool. The systems on there are a lot simpler than this thing. I want to learn as much about flying this plane as I can, because when the Fenix one comes out I don't want to be left too far behind. Right, now it's leveling off again. Okay, if the plane is doing its thing, I'm going to set this at 3,000 and I'm going to tell it to stay managed. I don't know what's going on here. Leveled off. I'm assuming it's going to drop again, but I don't know. I'm just going to leave the plane to it, and it messes up, it messes up. I've kind of lost all hope now. The autopilot has got manage altitude mode on, as depicted by the old dot there. So it's managing the altitude. That's pretty much the thing. Here we go. We're dropping again. And you get this, don't you? I mean, last time I flew, I remember that the plane would descend and hold a bit, and then descend and hold a bit. You could feel that. So maybe not so wrong after all. I don't know. Got some bridges over there. And we've got a great big gap in the scenery, which is starting to heal, is it? Look at this. Wow. Looks like it's healing as we move. Not good. Big gash in the landscape. Probably just a bandwidth issue or something with the data. But we should be curling around soon. Let's get into 20. This will be interesting. I think the altitude's looking fine considering how much we still have to do. Because these square turns obviously won't be a square turn. The plane will just smooth them out. It'll smooth it all out. And then when it lines itself up near the runway, well, at what point do you hit approach? I have done it before. I hit it once. It came on, and the plane circled round and lined itself up with the runway. But I still had to control the altitude. I can't get it to auto land. I don't know how to do the auto land. That's another thing I want to learn. Why does it keep asking me for this? What data do you want? Destination data. You've got it. It's right there. You're arriving on ILS 24, as you know, via EDN. I don't know what the transition is. I don't know what the star is. There was no stars listed in little nav map. And the transition, I don't even know what that is. There we go. Right, so Edinburgh should be over our right wing. There it is, right? That's it, that's where we're landing, but we're going to be coming in from this way. So now it's going to have to do a great big U-turn. Somehow, I don't know how it's going to manage this. How it's going to manage to make this turn before you get to the end of this runway. I don't know how it's going to do it. Unless it's just going to turn over there and then fly right out. That would make sense. Because this plane doesn't... Oh, it is. It's going to fly all the way around. Yeah, so it is. We're going to drift out to sea. So it's going to fly all the way around here. Maybe somewhere up to around there. And then fly further out. And then begin the approach in. There you go. That's fine. Okay. I'm just going to leave the autopilot to it. From Hamburg. Oh, that's made me hungry. Pretty good game. Yeah, simulator. I know I sometimes say game, but I shouldn't. Yeah, it's a, yeah. Oh, we've got another great big crease in the landscape there. Just here. Might be the same one. When the vertical glide slope hits the middle, then hit approach. Okay, so this is down here, right? Is this thing? Or when the vertical... where's that message? When the vertical... Thank you, Mr. SEQ? Or Mrs. EQ? I don't know. Sorry. Yeah, well, thank you anyway. Mr. Sec, I would say. When the vertical glide slope hits the middle, then approach. Okay, am I looking here then? What does it look like? I know sometimes there's a some, not this plane, but on others, you get 2 arrows on either side. This just lit up. Yeah. Just leave it running, leave the plane to do what it does. I'm going to make a big turn here though. It's going to have to smooth this out. What am I looking for with the vertical glide slope hitting the middle? ILS glide slope, yeah. I don't know what I'm looking for though. Is it? Do I put this on? Turn on ILS info in display. There you go. So, right, so there's the ILS info. So it's this across the bottom here, right? And then when it hits the middle, you said hit approach. Like this thing. Obviously, it's not going to stay in the middle yet. So, but yeah, I think that's it, right? Apparently you don't need both autopilots on at the same time for the plane to land on by itself. But if I manage to get the plane down like that, with auto, or lining it up, that would be a very satisfying end to what was a horrible middle. Wow, that's some tilt it's got on here. Well, this is the approach coming in. Look, ILS runway 24, it's got it up here. Mr. Sack, are you still there? Talk to me, man. Once the plane has hit this last green line for coming down, once it's hit that last part, then the glide slope should line up, right? Does it have to line up on both horizontal and vertical? When the vertical glide slope hits the middle. Oh right, so that's this one. That's this one. So when, okay, alright, I got you. I got you. When it hits the middle, then hit approach. Will the plane bring itself down? Will it land? My final destination is the ground. Edinburgh Airport. It's just behind us. Somewhere. Over the rainbow. Yep. Somewhere over there is Edinburgh Airport. Next to that big crack in the ground there. Right, here we go. Look, 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 look. Glide slope is in the middle. Is it gonna carry on moving out though? Okay, approach is on. What does that say? Cat 3 single? What? Glide slope localizer. Can I now put this on? Oh my god! Got both pilots on now. Hopefully it's still going to make the turn. There we go. Right, both autopilots are on. Approach mode is on. Do I turn on localizer mode? Or not? My god, imagine if this plane lands itself. How's it going to descend from 3,000? How's it going to know when to do that? Localizer now. That's not right. Turn approach on. So does this mean it's captured the glide scope but not the localizer? Because it needs to capture both, right? In order to... Well, no, the glide slope, does that help the plane? Oh, I don't know. Let's just see what happens. We'll try it. It looks like it's picked up the glide slope. Now, localizer is no longer has a star next to it. Will it know to descend? It's descending. Oh God. It's descending. I'm gonna have to, it's not gonna put the wheels out for me though, is it? But I'm gonna have to do that. It's taking care of the speed, the heading. Oh my word.
$2,500.
Stop, go away, go away. Laps in position 1, yep. How many nautical miles away? 1.9. Laps 2. Right, signs on, cabin check, spoilers armed. Laps full. Cabin check.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
Signs on, seat belts on. Laps full, done. Is this thing gonna land? I'm not touching anything. There's the runway. I'm not touching a damn thing now. Landing. I've never seen this before. I'm not touching anything. Auto landing. Wow. Serious? No way, this is my first one. It can't. And then as soon as it lands, I'm assuming autopilot disengages and it's up to me just to slow the plane down and brake. All this, I've never seen this landing config before. This is new. How fantastic is this? It was so worth doing it again then. Even though it was quite a weird ILS approach, at least it did it. Thanks, Tino. Oh, Concorde's going to be amazing.
500.
It's landing. I can't believe it. What's this say?
400.
Landing inhibit. Is that normal? I ain't doing a thing. I've got one finger on my one hand on my mouse and one finger on the keyboard to control the camera view. And look at the pappy lights. Perfect. 2 on, or 2 red, 2 white. Absolutely perfect. I can't believe this. What happens now though? Do I have to do the reverse thrusters? I'll be dipped. Look at this. Well.
Retard.
Reverse thrusters on. Oops, I didn't want to stop. Did not want to stop. I've never auto-landed a plane before. And the only thing, the one piece of information that made me do that was when you said when the vertical glide slope is in the middle, then hit approach, and I just kind of instinctually knew what to do from there. Eventually,
Edinburgh ground. Rusty
that was brilliant.
to the gate.
That was absolutely brilliant. My only thing then is that the Simbrief flight plan does not, or for me didn't put the
Rusty Romeo 66.
didn't put the final approach on. But maybe you can alter that. I'm going to have to look at a video now on how to properly fill out a Simbrief and see if it does also allow you to put in your approach to your final destination. That was just brilliant. Okay, just retracting the flaps now. And if we've got a jetway or stairs, well, the passengers that we didn't board can all get off. I find that the runway seems very over bright. Okay. Take your seatbelts off now. We're going to be fine as long as we don't hit it.
Rusty Romeo 66, hold position, caution, other traffic. Rusty Romeo 66, continue taxi.
So we're going to end up by the jetway, which is not connected to a building, so that's weird. Let's just pretend it's not in use, but there's no stairs either. Now the pushback thing has come up. Locking brake is set. You go away. This is your captain speaking. We hope you had a pleasant flight, even though it was... See, it looks like part of the airport hasn't been drawn up. There's assets missing, which is a little bit strange. So let's get the baggage off, let's get the passengers off. Get some new sandwiches loaded as well. Just pretend there's a building there, guys, because look at this. There's clearly a lot of assets missing here. I don't know if it's to do with data just not coming in off the servers or what, I don't know. So this is catering, it's basically just food. This is the baggage, and then we got passengers coming off. And in the meantime, I will start shutting down the plane. That's a whole nother thing, isn't it? Oh, we did an auto landing. I didn't even pilot it, Tino. Yeah, I've got more than 400 hours in this as well. So we'll leave the external power on for now. Oh boy. And I think I left all the lights on anyway, so like the beacon lights and everything. So I wasn't worried about putting them on. Right, we can disengage that. Bottles are at idle. And we can start shutting down engine 2. And continue. Whoa! Okay, I think we've just gone on to this pushback thing popping up automatically is not cool. Where's the jetway? Still connected, but it's not being reported on here. That's strange. Like, where is okay. Mind you, with the sometimes my flights are so airy that I actually put the smoking sign, no smoking sign, off. If you need to smoke, I'll understand. Get everything turned off. I'm not going to bother with things like, you know, turning off all the panel displays like this. I mean, you can, but okay. So we'll pretend. What the hell screen was that? We'll pretend that everybody's off the plane. Get rid of the jetway. Get rid of the baggage and catering. Shut the plane down fully. Batteries off. And that was our flight. Cannot believe it auto-landed. Now I know how to do it. Now I know how to auto-land it. That's incredible. Sometimes though, I just want it to approach. Now if I'd clicked approach and not engaged the second autopilot, would it have still landed, or would it have just lined up with the runway? Because sometimes you just want to do it yourself. You know, just be in control and bring that plane down and just land it. Because otherwise, once you've taken off, as soon as you take off and retract the gear, you pretty much, you just stick on autopilot and that's it until you touch the ground, which is, yeah, it takes away a lot of the skill though. But I suppose a lot of the skill is in reading the instruments and knowing what's going on around you with these, all the information on the screens. Guess so. Now to power this screen off, I think just there. I'm just going to have a sip of cold coffee. Ooh, that's it, guys. Took a second attempt, but I'm still trying to work. Oh, okay. So the first one went wrong basically because we were unable to land at our destination airport due to the weather. And because it was on autopilot, I don't know why I expected the plane to automatically just divert to the alternate airport, but it didn't. It was strange. I don't know why it didn't do that, so I've got to figure out what happened there. I might ask around and see what it was. But yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. It was more of a up, down, up stream. And a bit of a glitch in the middle, but hey. These are good things that you learn from. So, now that I had that issue where I couldn't land, I'm going to find out about it and find out what went wrong, what I could have done. And yeah, and next time I file a flight plan with Simbrief, I'm going to make sure I have an approach. Otherwise, I'll file one onto the flight plan. Extra, I know how to do that now. And I'll just brush up on my MCDU stuff, things that I didn't know where they were, and why the V1 and rotate and V2 speeds weren't going in. I need to find that out. So I will learn it all, and I'll be better next time round. So guys, until then, thank you for being here. Thanks for all of your likes and comments, and your company, of course. And I will catch you on the next one, which hopefully won't be too far away. Until then, happy flying. Bye for now.